Just gonna real quick ink these ghosts. Use my brushy pens. I'm gonna try to hit it light in a couple spots and then darker in a couple others. I want it to have kind of a rough feel. Do some scary fingers with this. It should be kind of loose. See the scratchy parts. If you know your pens and your pencils, and you know what you can do with them, you can try to do different effects. And the more you practice, the more you kind of learn what you can do. Or it's always fun to experiment too. Just trying to get kind of a dry brush feel on some of these. And a dry brush leaves little gaps and things like this. I'm actually going to try to bring some down here to the bottom, maybe a few more than I was originally thinking. I'll use it to sort of break up the bottom of this character. I won't have this line go all the way across like I originally did in the pencils. Try and keep it a little more ethereal. I do have this lantern over here that I made. It's a very strong light source, so it would be actually a really good opportunity to add some shadows and things. So I'm actually going to try to bring some extra shadows over on this side. Maybe have one or two on the inside here where this part of his body would block it, but light would kind of make some highlights there. And as you go around his arm, it might get dark again up here towards the outside. And on the lantern itself, you'd have some dark spots at the highest point away from the light. Probably be a little more pronounced. I'm just going to suggest these chains real quick. This is my rougher brush pen, so it forces me to be a little less tight with how I draw. It should be appropriate for some creepy drawings. Big creepy holding chain up here. I'm going to be a little looser about where this stuff actually appears, because we've got that bright light source in front of it. And just a little bit of a shadow there. And this actually will kind of swallow up a lot of that light initially. Do a little bit of a darker line right there. Add a little bit more shadow there. Now his face should be in this area. I originally had it be shadowed, but as soon as I made that decision to add that light, you need to maybe think about, will the light get in there or not? Maybe his arm is blocking it if it's out far enough, but if it's not, it's going to create some undershadowing or underlighting. So I'm going to do this where you start to see his face underlit. See his nose, his cheeks a little bit, his eyes. This is a little bit more difficult with this pen. A little bit of his chin and his teeth. So we have a little bit extra detail there. And this guy, he's not going to have the benefit of that lighting. But I'm going to try to really be coarse with this brush. When I have a lot of there's dry brush kind of strokes on here. Some blotchy patches. Be really good for areas like this where you have the torn and tattered parts of his robe. Even have a little bit of the back side of the robe show up here. We had kind of a double tear right there. And get some kind of good dry brush strokes in there. Really keeps it light and gives it that kind of frayed edges that I want. Okay, now this guy for this guy, I had drawn a face in there. Then I kind of put one on that guy. So this guy, I'm going to leave it blank instead. But I am going to leave some eyes, I think. If I can get that brush to give me enough detail. And there we got 2 scary ghosts. And just to keep everything clean, we'll take the pencil lines out of there in case I come back and do some colors. No self-respecting ghost will leave pencil lines. It's always good to have a nice big white eraser to really take these guys to town. And I say white eraser because a regular pencil eraser will not always get those. These white ones are a little more forgiving on your paper. Won't tear it, won't leave smudges. Highly recommend them.